All right, let's dive in. Today, we're going to break down a playbook for a really specific and honestly a super common challenge. It's this: your brand is respected, it's credible, but for some reason, it's just not becoming that automatic go to choice for specialists. If that sounds even a little bit familiar, you're in the right place. So let's get right to it. Here's the core question, Sayu. Your brand is accepted, right? But is it actually chosen? Specialists know your brand, they trust the science. They're not pushing back on it. But when that moment comes, that point of recommendation, is your brand name the one that actually gets said? Or does it kind of get lost in a generic suggestion? Because that gap, that little space between acceptance and active choice, well, that's exactly where market leadership slips away. Okay, so what is this, Pergun? We've given it a meme. We call it the drift, and it's this subtle but really powerful force that's working against your brand. See, this isn't about having to convince specialists of your value all over again. They get it. This is about solving for something else entirely. How do you keep your brand name top of mind in a crazy, busy, high-pressure clinical environment? So what does the drift actually look like in the real world? Well, picture this. A specialist agrees that a therapy like omega-3 is a great idea for their patient. Perfect. But then the specific choice of your brand just kind of dissolves. The decision for the category is made, but the brand decision, it's left wide open, it's unstable, and it's completely vulnerable to whatever your competitors are doing. And it's so important to get this. These aren't your brand's fault. These are structural realities of how clinics actually work. Your consultations are super compressed. They're fast. There's no system inside the clinic to consistently bring your brand to the forefront. And then the second that patient walks out the door, their memory of your specific brand name, it just fades almost instantly. And here's what happens because of that drift. The doctor provides absolutely perfect clinical care. The patient gets the right kind of therapy, but your brand, it gets left behind. There's no continuity. And that means every single time a patient comes in, it's like you're starting that brand conversation from scratch every single time. So what's the real cost of this? How much damage is this absence at that key moment really doing? It's not a minor issue, let me tell you. Over time, it has this massive compounding effect on your brand's equity and your whole position in the market. This drift, it leads to four very specific and very real pains. First, your brand never becomes that automatic default choice. It's always a conscious effort. Second, it starts to feel interchangeable with your competitors, no matter how strong your data is. And finally, you never truly get to own that number one spot in the specialist's mind. So you might be asking, where exactly is this breakdown happening? Well, it's not just in the consultation room. The brand choice is literally resetting across the entire patient journey. It starts even before the visit with whatever research they are doing. It gets lost in that brief, rushed clinical consult. It becomes totally vulnerable to substitution between visits, and then the whole cycle just starts all over again at the follow-up. And this right here, this is the key insight. You have to get this. Without a strong anchor holding your brand in place, you're not trying to win a single decision. No, you're fighting a battle that restarts every single time the patient interacts with the healthcare system. It's just an exhausting and super inefficient way to try and build a brand. Okay, so how in the world do we fix a structural problem like this? It's not with more reps or bigger ads, right? The solution has to be structural too. It's all about building a new operational framework inside the clinic itself, one that makes choosing your brand totally effortless. And that framework is a pretty simple three-step progression. First, we standardize, then we anchor, and those two steps lead to the ultimate goal, becoming the default choice. So let's break down exactly what each of those steps really means. Alright, first up, standardize. Now this isn't about telling doctors what to do, not at all. It's about giving them a super simple, consistent and easy way to name your brand when they're talking about supportive therapy. We are essentially removing the mental effort it takes to specify your brand instead of just the general category. Next, we have to anchor the brand. So once we have that consistent language, we've then embedded right into the doctor's daily workflow. What does that mean? It means using simple reusable cues, things on their desktop, in their calendar, on patient handouts that make your brand a natural, normal part of their environment. This is what makes sure the choice doesn't just evaporate the second the consultation is over. It sticks. And what's the result of standardizing and anchoring? Well, your brand becomes the default. It's simple psychology, really. When the same reference is seen and used over and over and over again, it builds this deep familiarity. It becomes automatic. Brand Umi becomes the name that specialists say first without even having to think about it. It literally becomes a clinical reflex. Okay, so that's the strategy. It sounds good in theory, right? But now let's get into the practical blueprint. How we actually turn this idea into a real, tangible, and most importantly, a measurable system. Look, this isn't just theory, it's a concrete plan with 3 distinct modules working together. First, there's an education layer. This uses in-clinic academic shares to get everyone using the same name for the brand. Simple. Second, a patient service layer. Think of something like a specialist-owned microsite that clears up any confusion after the visit. And finally, a referral layer. This uses white-label microsites to keep that recommendation going strong, even when a patient is handed off to another doctor. And this is so crucial. The whole system is measurable. We don't just sit back and look at sales figures. No, we track leading indicators first, like how many specialists are actually adopting the system. Then we measure behavioral proxies, like how often are these new tools actually being used in routine care. And finally, that's when we track the ultimate brand outcomes. A big jump in spontaneous recall and your consolidated status as the default choice. So when you put this all together, this system leads to a really fundamental shift in your brand's position in the market. You get to stop fighting for attention all the time and you start owning the moment of decision itself. Just think about this for a second. True market leadership doesn't really come from having the loudest voice or the biggest budget. It emerges when choosing your brand becomes the easiest, most automatic, most effortless thing a specialist can possibly do right at that point of recommendation. And really, that is the ultimate takeaway here. We need to stop just chasing adoption. The real strategic prize, the real win, is to become the default, to be the brand that's so deeply woven into clinical practice that choosing it is just a reflex. That is how you win.